Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20, as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. May not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Now a play fake here on first down. And incomplete to open things up. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
I don't know about you, but I love a good undrafted free agent success story. So let's take a look at Robbie Anderson, the wide receiver, because in 2017, 63 catches, 941 yards, and a strong candidate for the Pro Bowl. Didn't quite get there, but was knocking on the door. How about that for an undrafted free agent out of Temple, now making good in the NFL?
180.
2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. Escapes the sack. And his throw here's incomplete.
He's an absolute oak tree in the pocket because he is so hard to get on the ground. Not as elusive as he used to be, but still, trying to get him down, tough for any defender. In that case, he's able to move just enough. Incomplete pass downfield.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of...
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 16.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On the run, this is Hunt. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. The tackle by Tremaine Johnson.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Lucky 56.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Hard throw, incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Returnable here from the 38. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here. A little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that. His play of the drive there is incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
And the Browns getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 13 carries, 67 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect to maybe throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
Mayfield now on 2nd down, and his throw is going to be incomplete. And this passing game, his whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
On third down, it's Hunt, and he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And New York set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
They go play action here on first down. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Riddick with a carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. On 3rd and 1, it's Roethlisberger. He's got Curse. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Riddick spinning away and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On the ground, it's Riddick. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beef eaters on the interior of this D-line, You just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beef eaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll start things on first down with Bo Scarborough. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaunton. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now let's go. Green 39, green 39.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he stopped immediately there. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
They'll run. This is Hunt. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Pernell McPhee in there on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it here with Hunt. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll toss it to Hunt. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now Scarborough, and they'll get him down right around the 16. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Browns on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw, Mayfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense, right? Absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion. But he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
3 down. Set. 180.
And they'll run it here. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball. and that way you often control the game.
The Jets on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now, throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Green 39.
They'll throw again from their own end zone. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Johnson. From their own 2, Charles, they opted to throw it instead of run it. We saw the outcome.
I think what a lot of teams count on is defenses to stack the line of scrimmage, trying to force a safety or force a turnover there. But if you've got a good defensive front, you just allow them to play the run, and everyone else stays ready, and they were, and they picked that one.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal.
4 down. Set. Blue 30.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
How about this Browns defense? They've held so far. This is now 3rd and goal. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. How about this Browns defense? They've held so far. This is now 3rd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
This drive started with 1st and goal. Now that it's 4th and goal, anything less than a touchdown would feel like a letdown to me.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Bryant's kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach, when he ordered the field goal, please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. On 2nd down, Mayfield again. Flush to his right. Powerful running. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. On 3rd down, Mayfield. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Jets on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he will get the first down as he's up to the 20-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards. Big Ben, not the most agile quarterback in NFL history, but he can use those legs when he needs to.
He really can, and I think it starts with him taking contact and shedding people trying to get him on the ground. That's when he becomes the most elusive.
Yeah, something he honed back at the University of Miami in Ohio.
Yeah,
and now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. But I think a Jet was able to recover, and they'll keep possession thanks to a heads-up play. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They run. This is Scarborough. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Second down, Mayfield. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go, ball on the 43. A toss play to Hunt. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
This is Scarborough. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Mayfield on play action. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
The Browns on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Mayfield. Screen play, Johnson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Yeah, brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Hurry up, here we go! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run for it with Bo Scarborough. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Another stop on 3rd down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
They're not going to kick it. A chip shot, but they're going for it down 3 on 4th down. Now Mayfield on 4th down. And my goodness, this is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Jets are going to get the football back. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
Here's Roethlisberger. This is Riddick on the screen. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Fielded at about the 28. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Around the NFL, third quarter at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here.
Set, 3-19.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the past. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
From the gun, Mayfield. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. That is caught by the former Gator, Antonio Callaway. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 30. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. The Browns on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. New York set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here's Reddick. That hill running right through it. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They go back to Reddick. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gordon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker.
Set! 180!
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Throw left side complete. That's Gordon. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And that'll set him back 5. A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Roethlisberger will throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. And they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try to loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
And it's caught. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
2nd and goal from the 1. Here's Roethlisberger. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
How about this Browns defense? They've held so far. This is now 3rd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
Kick is good. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now, because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Green 39.
A first down throw from Mayfield. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, a 22. He's been quiet all afternoon. He may have just come up with a play of the day right there, though.
Obviously, it's not the volume in what you get done. It's the quality, and that was a quality catch right there.
They'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were go on the field, but okay, I see you. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
He's back to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps him move the sticks. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. He'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
Set. Black 30.
And they'll run it here. And nice yardage right off the bat here as he's up to about the 24-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up. Now a timeout called for by the defense as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game.
Let's go. Set. Black 80.
The Jets, with victory seemingly in hand, they take a knee. Here's the Jets punter now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This will be fielded at the 17. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. One last shot from Mayfield here. Now a desperation throw deep down. And oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you handle